Welcome back to ABCT Stock Review. Today we're running our momentum watch list of 9 small cap setups for June 9, 2026, including EPSM, WAI, BGI, CNET, and more. For each name, here's where price sits versus our planned entry and upside targets. EPSM is a small cap stock with a notable movement today, jumping 10.92% on 12 times average volume, driven by heavy unusual interest and flagged by the early scanner as a potential runner. Currently, EPSM is trading at 1.32, significantly below the planned entry of 2.06. The potential moves are substantial, with profit target 1 at 3.09, representing a 134.1% increase, and profit target 2 at 4.12, a gain of 212.1%. Performance trends indicate a significant volume surge, but more details are needed to assess its short-term trends. The ideal scenario is for EPSM to hold the entry level and build toward profit targets. Expected price ranges suggest volatility, keeping an eye on active momentum. Today's move: 26x average volume, heavy unusual interest. Scanner projects roughly 153% upside potential today. WAI is at $1.97, sitting minus 44.32% below the $3.54 entry, a possible re-entry zone, and minus 3.62% on the day. Profit target 1 at $5.31 is about 169% away, and profit target 2 at $7.08, roughly 259%. Longer term, the setup stays constructive if it holds the entry and builds toward the profit targets. Losing entry on volume would turn the longer-term view cautious. Watch the $3.54 entry as the key line. Today's move: 367 times average volume, heavy unusual interest. Scanner projects roughly 232% upside potential today. BGI is at 48 cents, sitting negative 55.80% below the $9.10 entry, a possible re-entry zone, and negative 22.19% on the day. Profit target 1 at $1.64 is about plus 239% away, and profit target 2 at $2.18, roughly plus 352%. Longer term, the setup stays constructive if it holds the entry and builds toward the profit targets. Losing entry on volume would turn the longer-term view cautious. Watch the $9 entry as the key line. Manage risk on this small cap. Today's move: 203x average volume, heavy unusual interest. Scanner projects roughly 222% upside potential today. CNET is at 84 cents, sitting negative 24.63% below the $1.11 entry, a possible re-entry zone, and plus 17.85% on the day. Profit target 1 at $1.67 is about plus 99% away, and profit target 2 at $2.22, roughly plus 165%. Longer term, the setup stays constructive if it holds the entry and builds toward the profit targets. Losing entry on volume would turn the longer-term view cautious. Watch the $1.11 entry as the key line. Manage risk on this small cap. Today's move: 11x average volume, heavy unusual interest. Scanner projects roughly 26% upside potential today. OCG is at $1.85, sitting 7.04% below the $1.99 entry, a possible re-entry zone, and 2.78% on the day. Profit target 1 at $2.98 is about 61% away, and profit target 2 at $3.98, roughly 115%. Longer term, the setup stays constructive if it holds the entry and builds toward the profit targets. Losing entry on volume would turn the longer-term view cautious. Watch the $1.99 entry as the key line. Manage risk on this small cap. Today's move: 13 times average volume, heavy unusual interest. Scanner projects roughly 43% upside potential today. CLWT is at $1.17, sitting minus 18.75% below the $1.44 entry, a possible re-entry zone, and minus 20.95% on the day. Profit target 1 at $2.16 is about plus 85% away, and profit target 2 at $2.88, roughly plus 146%. Longer term, the setup stays constructive if it holds the entry and builds toward the profit targets. Losing entry on volume would turn the longer-term view cautious. Watch the $1.44 entry as the key line. Today's move: 29x average volume, heavy unusual interest. Scanner projects roughly 131% upside potential today. FCUV is at $77, sitting negative 29.50% below the $1.90 entry, a possible re-entry zone, and plus 2.93% on the day. Profit target 1 at $1.64 is about plus 113% away, and profit target 2 at $2.19 roughly plus 184%. Longer term, the setup stays constructive if it holds the entry and builds toward the profit targets. Losing entry on volume would turn the longer-term view cautious. Watch the $1.90 entry as the key line. Manage risk on this small cap. Today's move: 12x average volume, heavy unusual interest. Scanner projects roughly 59% upside potential today. WTO is at 93 cents, sitting minus 35.78% below the $1.45 entry, a possible re-entry zone, and minus 4.00% on the day. Profit target 1 at $2.17 is about plus 134% away, and profit target 2 at $2.90, roughly plus 211%. Longer term, the setup stays constructive if it holds the entry and builds toward the profit targets. Losing entry on volume would turn the longer-term view cautious. Watch the $1.45 entry as the key line. Manage risk on this small cap. EHGO operates as a microcap in an unspecified sector. Its current price is at $1.63, below the planned entry of $2.03. Today, EHGO experienced impressive trading, with 18 times its average volume, indicating heavy unusual interest. This spike in activity was flagged by the early scanner as a potential runner, projecting an estimated 57% upside potential. Over the past year, detailed performance data is not available. RSI indicators are also absent, leaving us without insights into overbought or oversold conditions. Currently, with a 19.7% dip from entry, the distance to profit target 1 stands at 86.8%, while profit target 2 is 149.1%. Watch for price action as it approaches the entry level. Expected price ranges indicate volatility ahead, maintaining enthusiasm while being measured about risk. That's the full watch list for today. If this helped, like and subscribe for the daily run-through. These are high-risk, speculative small caps. This is for education purpose, not financial advice. Always use a stop and size your risk. Trade safe.